Alright, so what I'm talking about just now. Okay, this week is week 7. So meaning to say, we have been through half of the semester. How do you feel so far? Everything is fine? Dah separuh semester dah ni you all? So far so good online classes? Ke still adapting?
Boleh tahan.
Boleh tahan? Enjoying? Ada orang bagi ni, ramai, Harif buat macam mana tu? Boleh tangan not good tu. Saya tak pandai. Okay, boleh bagi smiley, apa ni dia punya tu. Alright, so I'm meaning to say next week, okay. Keluar figure baru Afiq lah bagi emoticon apa benda orang panggil tu. Okay. Next week is a mid-semester break. Okay, next week will be a mid-semester break. Jadi kita akan cuti seminggu lah untuk lecture and tutorial. But, okay, as I told you earlier, hari Ahad nanti pukul 2.30 hingga 3.30 petang, there will be an industry in classroom punya talk. This session, for your information, for every subject, every semester, dia akan ada satu slot kita invite speaker daripada industri untuk bagi talk. Sharing experience with you pasal pengalaman diorang di industri lah. Ke ada subjek lain yang dah buat? Ada tak? Dah ada ke you all session for other subjects for industry in classroom?
LK.
Ada?
LK.
Tak, saya tanya ni. Ada tak ada?
LK ada.
Ada dah ada. Subjek apa?
LK.
LK apa benda tu? Lukisan kejuruteraan, betul tak? SOE dah Haflan kata. Benda tahu SOE tu?
Lukisan kejuruteraan.
Lukisan kejuruteraan. Dr. Fikri Yadi ke?
Dr. Azlan Musa.
Oh, Dr. Azlan. Alright, okay. So, we are running out of time. Tak boleh nak borak-borak panjang. Okay, so we're going back to our business here in chapter 3, part 1. Part 1 here. So, I'm going to share the screen. Saya nak share screen. Saya tutuplah video ni, nanti banyak akan data you all. Stop video. Stop pula dah. Share content. Okay, nampak Alright, so during my asynchronous lecture this week, where do we stop? Okay, saya tak silap saya, we discussing about the chain rule. Okay, we stop at the chain rule, and as I said in the lecture, okay, dalam asynchronous lecture, it's very important this chain rule. Okay, that's why kalau you tengok example pun banyak untuk chain rule ni, because basically we are going to use this method later in other subtopic, in other topics, and in fact dalam other subjects pun you may use this chain rule, and for sure dalam engineering maths too, di mana you akan belajar next semester you akan guna. Okay, so we discussed already this example 10, we stop at example 12 if I'm not mistaken. And I ask you to submit few questions. Okay, some of you tak submit on time, saya kejar. Dan saya rasa semua orang dah submit lah by now. Okay, macam-macam masalah ada. Alright, okay. So now, we are going to move to the next subtopic, which is implicit differentiations. Okay, apa maksud implicit differentiation ni? Dia sebenarnya implicit differentiation ni adalah it coming from an implicit function. So, apa maksud implicit function ni? Implicit function ni maksudnya, kalau sebelum ni kita punya function is, okay, hujan ni kat sini. Saya takut network tak berapa clear. Hopefully it's all good. Okay, y equals to x square plus 5x plus 3 for example. So, we have on our left hand side y, on our right hand side x. Okay, so meaning to say this is, the function is expressed explicitly. Maknanya y dalam y on kita punya left hand side ada y, right hand side kita ada x. However, for Implicit maknanya kita campur. We make bercampur x and y. For example, kita ada xy equals to 5 cos y tambah dengan apa? Katakanlah x square sin y, for example, something like that. Okay, so maknanya bercampur. It's mixed up. Okay, the variable x and y. Okay, so now everybody faham apa maksud implicit kat sini Okay, so now we're gonna move for implicit differentiation. So as stated here, implicit differentiation meaning that differentiate both sides of the equation with respect to x, treating y as differentiable function of x. Okay, and the second step, collect the terms y with dy over dx on one side of the equation and solve for dy over dx. Okay, as usual, baca macam ni maybe a little bit susah nak faham. So we straight away go to the example here. Okay, so the example given to you is an implicit function. Nampak tak kat sini? Dia bercampur ni x and y. Okay, there's a way kalau you rasa macam tak nak differentiate implicitly, you boleh lah. Tapi kalau you nampak ni, you have what you can do. You can try to manipulate or you can try to rearrange this equation sampai you dapat on your left hand side y, on your right hand side x. Tapi I don't think it's easy because here we have y and another side we have y square. Okay, kalau both y senang je nak asingkan y on your left and x on your right. But now we have y and y square. So it will be complicated. So the easier one for you to differentiate this function is we differentiate it implicitly. Okay. Alright. So now this function we have x square y plus xy square equals to 6. So meaning to say, kita akan differentiatekan semua ni with respect to x. D dx of x square y plus xy square equals to d dx of 6. Nampak tak? Okay. So yang senangnya on your right hand side ni lah. Differentiate constant 6 with respect to x. What you will get, class? We will get, it's a constant kan? So it doesn't, 6 ni, 6 ni, does not relies on x. So the derivative will become 0. Okay, so that's why the side kita dapat kosong. And next, okay, have a look at this function. D dx of x square y plus xy square. Semua ni variable x and y, both you are to differentiate. Okay, so kalau you tengok the first term here, we have x square y, meaning to say, we have two function ni sebenarnya. Kita ada x square darab dengan y. So kita tak boleh lah nak just differentiate x square dan differentiate y. No, because this is a multiplication of two function. Faham ini? This is very important. I don't want any one of you to make a careless mistake here. Okay, you disregard this as one function. No, this is two functions where the first function is x square, the second function is y. So what you got to do when you want to differentiate this is you have to apply apa dia? Product rule. Okay, you have to apply product rule. So product rule maksudnya your u is equals to x square. Your v is equals to y. Then du over dx is equal differentiate x respect to differentiate x square respect to ni u equals to x square differentiate respect to x, you will get 2x. dv, you differentiate, okay, respect to y, then you will get, no, you differentiate respect to dx, dv over dx, tak nampak ni, y, v equals to y, so dv over dx, then you will get dy over dx. Okay, differentiate y, d dx of y, then you will get dy over dx. Faham tak ni? Okay, so from here, that's why kita dapat kat sini x square. X square ni adalah u, dy over dx is v prime, plus with y is our V, 2x is our U prime. Okay. And then plus with xy square ni pun sama juga. Xy square. Saya tulis kat sini U equals to X and V is equals to Y square. So du over dx here, differentiate U with respect to X is equals to 1. And dv over dx, maksudnya kat sini kita regard ni, kita differentiate with respect to X. So we bring down the power to Y, the power of Y kita kurangkan dari 1 and dx of apa? Dx of Y ni. So jadi dy over dx. Ingat tak chain rule yang kita dah belajar sebelum ni, yang saya cakap kalau kita ada function katakanlah x tambah 4 square. Okay, if you want to differentiate x tambah 4 square for example, so what you got to do here, we bring down the power. Okay, right? We copy whatever inside we have. Okay. And then the power here we reduce by 1. And then we dx of whatever inside here. X plus 4. Kan? Differentiate tu. So, konsep yang ni pun sama. Instead of we have x plus 4 here, we have y. Okay. We bring down the power of y to, and then, okay, and copy this y. The power of 2 reduced to 1. And then dx of y. Tak payah nak selesaikan, just leave it dy over dx. Okay, hopefully you all clear lah. Okay, so from here, that's why jawapan kat sini kita ada x 2y. Okay, because this x is our u and 2y dy dx here is our v prime. Y square is our v and 1 is our u prime. Okay, so the most important step is step number 1. Make sure all of you understand. On the right hand side is 0. Saya dah explain tadi. Okay, and then from here, we rearrange the equation. Maknanya yang ada dy dx, we put on our left hand side. Yang tak ada dy dx, we bring to the right hand side. So this term, we move to the left to the right hand side. So jadi negative 2xy. And y square kat sini, we move to the right. So jadi minus y square. Then dy dx, you may factor it out on your left hand side. So you have here x square plus 2xy equals to negative 2xy minus y square. So yang ni pindahkanlah darab silang tu. So you will get this as your answer. So as you can see, the final answer in step number 4, kita ada jawapan in terms of x and y. Why? Because this function is being expressed implicitly. So don't worry. Kenapa ada y lagi? Don't worry. Okay, so hopefully everybody clear with the first example ni. Macam mana kita nak solve implicit differentiation. Alright, so now we're going to move to the next example here. We have example 13. Boleh tak you all try juga? Instead of tengok je saya. Okay, we can try to solve this example. We can do it together. Nak guna Jamboard hari tu saya rasa macam lambat je, melambatkan pengajaran je. Saya tak pastilah what is the best way nak jadikan interaktif. Okay, so can you just shout to me what is your answer? Ke ada you discover method baru kat sini? Tadi boleh hantar smiley kat saya. Hantar jawapan tak boleh ke? Okay, so for A. Can you quickly tell me so I write down? So what we gonna do? For A example here, maknanya we are going to differentiate both left and right hand side d dx of x cubed plus with y cubed equals to d dx of 18xy. Okay, so quickly class, okay, what we gonna do? Differentiate x cubed, what you will get on your right hand side. Fawaz dengar tak Fawaz? Ke sejam lagi baru Fawaz nak bagi jawapan ni? Yang lain cepat. The first step. Are you with me class ke you tak dengar? Kat sini hujan dah ni. Senyap je semua ni.
Dengar.
Dengar. So apa jawapan ni? Ni, next step.
3x kuasa 2.
Yes, correct. 3x kuasa 2.
3y tambah 3y kuasa 2.
3y square.
Sama
Ada
dengan
nak dengar something tak? Remember, we bring down the power, ni. Then don't forget apa?
Y dx.
dy dx. Okay, d dx of y. Good. Then tengok ni 18xy. How many function do we have here? Kita ada dua function kat sini. Okay, x and y. So maknanya kita kat sini, saya nak direct lah terus saya. Kita dah advance sekarang. So tak payah nak buat u and v tadi. Okay, so 18. First saya copy dulu x. Okay, saya copy dulu x. Okay, we just differentiate x and y. We bring 18 out because this is just a constant kan. Because this is equals to 18 d dx of x, y. Kita boleh buat macam tu. Okay, differentiate dulu, copy x, differentiate y. So we get dy dx. Because differentiate y. Y ni adalah kuasa 1. D dx of y. So kita bring down 1. Y kuasa kosong darab dengan d dx of y kat sini. So that's why kita dapat dy dx. Okay, and then plus with second time kita copy y and kita differentiate x respect to x. Kita akan dapat differentiate x dapat berapa kelas? Dapat 1. Faham tak? Okay, so dari sini kita dapat, okay, saya nak ni tak apalah, tulis dulu. 3x square tambah 3y square dy over dx equals to 18x dy over dx plus with y. Then from here, what is the next step? Syarif, what is the next step? Senyap. Kacun, are you here, Kacun? I think Kacun is the first person submitted the test last night. Kacun, what is the next step? Devendran is here or not? Semua senyap je ni. Girls? Tak ada orang tersenyap ni.
Differentiate
Okay,
dulu.
what's next class?
Differentiate lagi.
Tak dengar. Clear, louder please. Afiq is speaking, but I can't hear you. Okay, we bring
Differentiate
the
lagi.
dy dx to our left hand side. So maknanya kita ada 3y square dy over dx. Yang ni memang dah ada dekat left hand side. So yang 18x dy dx ni, oh, okay, minus with 18 minus 18x dy over dx equals to y minus 3x square. Okay, minus with 3x square ni saya bawa ke kanan. Okay, so from here, nak buka ni sikit, semua nampak beza. Okay, I bring it here. dy over dx, kita factor out, kita dapat 3y square minus 18x equals to y minus 3x square. So our dy over dx is equals to y minus 3x square over 3y square minus 18x. Okay, clear or not? Kenapa senyap ni? You all dengar ke tak? Please lah respond. Saya jujur, saya lemah implicit differential. Okay, tak apa Yung. You have to do a lot of examples. Okay. And then if you can't understand, then you just text me. Tak apa. Okay. You try to buat dulu. Okay. Okay, we try one more example. Kalau you all still lagi tak clear kat sini. Okay. Okay, saya akan delete yang ni. Okay. Kita recordkan lecture ni. Saya risau tak record. Record ke tak ni? Tak record ke? Record. Nasib baik. Okay. Alright. So next. Saya clear dulu. Read this all. Okay, we done with A. Now we move to B. Okay, B. Question 3xy plus 7 square equals to 6y. Okay, so this is where when I was saying to you just now, chain rule is important. Yang ni pun kita akan guna chain rule juga. Kita akan differentiatekan d dx of this and d dx of this. Okay, so nampak tak kat yang ni? d dx of 3x square plus 7 everything power of 2. So yang ni you regard kita ni adalah everything inside ni, don't care. We bring down 2 first. We bring down 2, whatever inside you copy. So you ada 3x square plus 7. And the power we reduce by 1. Okay, reduce by 1. And you differentiate d dx of 3x square plus 7 kat sini. Okay, and then ni adalah d dx of 6y, maknanya 6 you bring out d dx of y. Okay, so as I told you tadi, y ni adalah y kuasa 1. Kita guna konsep power macam tadi juga. So 6, ish, apa dah berlaku ni? Okay, yang ni 6 darab kuasa 1 ni turun bawah. So y kuasa, jadi y kuasa kosong and d dx of y. Alright, sama macam tadi. Yang ni 2 turun bawah. Everything inside kita copy. Kuasa ni jadi kuasa 1 and d dx of whatever inside here. Okay, d dx of 3x square plus 7. And then here is equals to 6. Times with y kuasa 1 ni, 1 turun bawah. Y kuasa kosong, jadi 1 lah. And then dy over dx. So here we get 2, 3x square plus 7. Differentiate 3x square respect to x, you get 6x. Differentiate 7, you get 0. And then this one you will get 6 dy over dx. Sebab y kuasa kosong ni adalah 1. So there you go. You have the answer here. 6 and 6 here you can cancel. So this time we get direct the answer. Just tukar je position dia dy dx. Dy dx is equals to 2x 3x square plus 7. Sebab memang dah on the right hand side ni memang dah dy dx. Okay, 6 and 6 here you can cancel. So this is the final answer for B. Okay. Alright, and then next, okay, we solve C. Ada siapa-siapa yang try tak? You all try lah juga, okay. C, ada orang check ke? Saya tak perasan tadi. Okay, C. We have xy equals to cotangent xy. Okay. So, maknanya kat sini, again, how many function? Okay, saya nak tanya lah. On the right, left hand side, berapa function kita ada? Left hand side, yang ni. 2 ke 1? 2 ke 1?
2.
2. Betul. We have x and y. What about your right hand side? 2 ke 1? Right hand side. Cotangent xy ni everything sekali. So, berapa? 1 ke 2 function? Yung kata 2.
2.
2. Luqman kata 2. What is the first function? What is the second function then? Kalau you kata 2, make sure you are able to identify apa first, apa second. Macam xy ni, first function dia adalah x. Second function dia adalah y on your left hand side. On your right hand side ni, what is your first function?
Cotangent X.
Cotangent x. Cotangent x is your first one.
Yes.
The second function?
Cotangent Y.
Louder please. Tak dengar. Hujan dah kat sini ni.
Second function y.
Second function y. Be careful. Nampak tak I letak bracket kat sini ni?
Cotangent Y.
Cotangent y. First function is cotangent x. Second function is cotangent y. Some of you say first function is cotangent x. Second function is y. But you see the bracket here. Maksudnya kat sini kelas only one function which is cotangent x, y. Okay, there is only one function which is cotangent x, y. Be careful Okay, but dia punya angle ni, yes, betul. Dia ada dua function yang dalam tu. Tapi this one you don't need to differentiate cotangent. The outer part here, you don't need product rule or quotient rule because there is only one function here. Okay, so we proceed. Okay, on your left hand side. Faham semua yang dalam ni is a cotangent xy. So maknanya the function is cotangent only on your right hand side. Okay, so here for C we have xy. So maknanya macam tadilah mula-mula kita copy x, differentiate y, so we get dy over dx, plus we differentiate x, we get 1 times with y. And then equals to cotangent. Kita differentiate cotangent, kita dapat apa Saya pun lupa dah. Apa benda differentiate cotangent? Cotangent cosecant kan?
Negative
Negative. Negative
cosecant square.
cotangent. Negative cosecant square. Yes. Negative cosecant square x. Negative cosecant square. So this one is xy. Negative cosecant square xy times with, remember whatever inside you have to differentiate as well. So d dx of xy. Nampak tak? D dx of xy. So kat sini tadi kita dah selesaikan dah d dx of xy tadi kan? Plus y equals to negative cosecant square xy darab dengan d dx of xy adalah x dy over dx plus with y. Sama je yang ni. Sebab yang ni pun kita differentiate with respect to dx. Okay, d dx of xy. Ni pun d dx of xy. So that's why we get the same thing. Here and here. Nampak tak? Okay. And now we want to find what is our dy over dx. And this is the tricky part. Make sure you don't make a mistake lah. Okay. Sebab kat sini maksudnya yang ni kena darab dengan yang ni darab dengan yang ni juga. Baru you boleh pecahkan. Okay, so maknanya kat sini on your right hand side, what you will have here is negative x cosecant square xy darab dengan dy over dx plus with plus pun dia akan jadi tolak lah kat sini. Okay, plus with ni saya tolak lah terus. Tolak negative y cosecant square xy. Okay, on your right hand side is still x dy over dx plus with y. Okay, then dari situ baru kita boleh alihkan yang dy dx to your left hand side and y ni go to your right hand side. Okay, so from here we get x dy over dx. Okay, yang ni pergi ke left hand side, so dia akan jadi plus x cosecant square xy dy over dx sama dengan minus y cosecant square xy tolak y. Okay, ni kawasan ni Okay, so here we get dy over dx ni adalah x plus with x cosecant square xy. Sama dengan benda ni. Okay, saya nak kena sapu lah. Saya nak try sapu sekejap. Saya sapu sekejap. Okay, so okay, so now maknanya kita punya jawapan dy over dx is equals to negative y cosecant square xy minus y over x plus with x cosecant square xy. Ataupun what you can do, you can factor out negatif kat sini. Negatif y, you can factor out. You dapat cosecant square xy tambah 1 over x pun you can factor out. 1 tambah cosecant square xy. Okay, so this is your answer for C. Okay, potential is negative cosecant square x y. Okay, alright, and then we move to D. Hopefully, C everyone is fine. Okay, so now we move to D. Actually, D is a little bit easier. Okay, D is simpler lah. Okay, so we move to D. D, we have x power of 4 plus sine y equals to x power of 3y square. Okay, so to differentiate, yang ni very obvious. On your left hand side, you have two function. Okay, on your left hand side, you have two function. So differentiate x power of 4, you get 4x cube. Tak payah nak dengan dy dx sebab with respect to d dx. Okay, so plus with sin y, differentiate sin y, what you will get, class? Differentiate
Cos
sin cos.
X.
Cos x differentiate y,
Cos
cos y lah. Sin y, you get cos y. Dan darab dengan apa? Jangan lupa d dx of y. Okay, d dx of y. So you have dy over dx. Okay, and then on your right hand side ada berapa function kat sini? Kita ada berapa function kat sini on your right hand side, class?
Dua.
Dua. We have x cube and y square. So, as usual, saya tulis dulu x cube. Saya differentiate y square. We will get 2y times with dy dx plus with, okay, second time saya differentiate x cube. So, we get 3x square y square. Okay, 3x square y square. Okay, then next kat sini kita combine dy dx to move to your left hand side. So we have cos y dy over dx minus with 2x cube y dy over dx equals to 3x square y square minus 4x cube. Then from here, dy over dx, you boleh faktorkan. Okay, saya sikit. We have straight 3x square y square minus 4x cube over yang you faktorkan yang ni. Okay, we have cos y tolak dengan 2x cube y. Okay, so that is our answer for D. Okay, boleh semua? Okay, maybe first time ni macam tu you can redo the examples. Okay, I'm not sure whether you print out your notes ke tak. Tak apalah tak print out pun. But you have the notes in a PowerPoint form. Okay, and then you can try to redo. Nak check jawapan, you play lah balik video ni nanti. Recorded video. Okay. Alright, so with this, we have completed the implicit differentiation. If I'm not mistaken, ada lagi example? Tak ada dah. Okay. Then now we come to the next subtopic. Okay, semua? Alright, we come to the next subtopic, which is derivative of logarithmic function or logarithm functions. Okay, log. Okay, so saya rasa semua orang dah familiar kot dengan log ni kan. Okay, we have log base 10 and we have ln as well. You all biasa tak natural logarithmic ni? Biasa tak dengar natural logarithmic? Okay, ln. What is ln? Ln x. Ln x ni sebenarnya adalah log x base apa, kelas? Base e. Okay, base e. So that's why dia jadi natural logarithmic or ln. Okay, kita panggil ln. Okay. So there are a few properties, but these properties not only valid for natural logarithmic. Untuk log base yang lain pun tu applicable jugalah, maknanya biasa kita guna log base 10 kan. Sama je kat sini pun log base 10. By the way, it's a revision to all of you. Katakanlah saya kata ln x is equals to 3. Apa maksud dia kat sini? Maknanya ln x is equals to 3. This is actually log
X kuasa
x
3.
base e is equals to 3. Betul tak?
Yes.
So kalau macam ni, maksudnya apa dia?
E kuasa 3.
X kuasa 3.
X sama dengan E kuasa 3.
X sama dengan
E kuasa 3.
E kuasa 3. Okay, so make sure everyone recap balik. Okay, sama juga kalau kita kata kat sini ln E. Ln E sama dengan berapa kelas? Ln E is equals to apa? Ln E is equals to 1. Kenapa ln E is equals to 1? Yes, betul Yong. Ln E is equals to 1 because ln E is log E base E is equals to 1. Okay, yang ni kalau you tukarkan dalam bentuk macam tu, dia akan jadi E power of 1 is equals to E. Okay, ni benda-benda yang nak recap balik lah. Benda yang you pernah belajar dulu in your previous mathematics class. Okay. So, there are few properties that will help you a lot when you want to solve the logarithm, derivative of logarithmic functions. Okay. So, where we have ln x times y, where we have two functions kat sini, which is x times y, according to logarithm properties, you can add them. Ln x plus with ln y. Okay, whereas kalau bahagi, ln x over y is equals to ln x minus with ln y. Kalau ln x power of p, kuasa ni you boleh bawa ke depan as long as p ni is a constant lah. Bukan variable ya. Okay, p variable pun boleh sebenarnya. Nanti kita akan tengok. P ln x for x more than 0 and p is a rational number. And then, yang paling penting kat sini, the derivative of ln x is equals to 1 over x. 1 over x. Okay, d dx of ln x is equals to 1 over x. This is something new, I guess. Kalau siapa-siapa yang tak pernah belajar lagi derivative of logarithmic function. And then d dx of ln ux, maknanya function inside the logarithmic, dia akan sama dengan 1 over, you copy sahaja apa yang ada dalam logaritmik ni, okay, 1 over us ni, and don't forget to differentiate apa yang you copy tadi, apa yang you salin tadi, u prime x. Okay, so to discuss just further, let's have few examples. Okay, so okay, kat sini kita ada beberapa soalan ni. Try to solve this within 20 minutes lah. Okay, we have A, ln 2x power of 8. Apa jawapan? Quickly class. Congak aja ni, cepat. Dia punya konsep tadi adalah ln x, d dx of ln x is equals to, apa tadi? Differentiate ln x. Class, differentiate ln x, what you will get?
1 over x.
Yes, 1 over x. Correct. Okay, 1 over x. Sebenarnya 1 over x ni dia darab dengan d dx of x. Bila dia darab dengan d dx of x, okay, dx over dx dia akan jadi 1. Okay, so that's why jadi 1 over x kat sini. So kalau yang ni, dy over dx, dia akan jadi 1 over apa? Apa dalam ln ni kelas? Everything you bring it down. So, you akan dapat 1 over 2 x power of 8. And do not forget to differentiate d dx of apa yang you letak kat bawah semua ni. So, d dx of 2x power of 8. So, what you will get the answer here? 2x power of 8 darab dengan derivative of 2x power of 8 here. Berapa? Paklah takkan tak tahu yang ni.
16x power 7.
Yes, 16x power of 7. So you can cancel 2 and 16 here, you get 8. So jawapan dia adalah 8x kuasa 7 bahagi x kuasa 8. And then you boleh lagi simplify. Yang ni akan jadi apa jawapan dia last?
8 per X.
Yes, good. You get 8 over X. That is your answer for A, 8 per X. Okay. Okay, now let's proceed for B. Okay, B ni how many function do we have, class? How many function we have?
Dua.
X, 2.
2.
X square plus 1. First function. Second function. Ln X. Right. So kita buat U. V kan? U is equal to X square plus 1. V is equals to ln X. So du over dx differentiate U. Okay, respect to X you get 2X differentiate V dV over dx. You get apa kat sini? 1 over X. Tak payah nak tulis lah ddx of 1. Differentiate X. You differentiate X respect to X. You get 1. Okay, so the answer for this dy over dx is equals to X square plus 1 over X plus with 2X ln X. Buat tau. Jangan tengok saya macam you tengok YouTube sebelum nak tidur macam tu. Tak jadi macam tu. You have, okay, you try to understand now. You can do it together with me. Ataupun after this, habis kelas, you try to do and then compare your answer with my answer. Okay. So this is the answer for B. So we're done with A and B. Now we move to C. Okay, for C we have y equals to ln x plus 1 over x minus 1. Okay, so maknanya kat sini dy over dx, same concept. Whatever inside ln, we bring it down. So 1 over x plus 1 over x minus 1. Darab dengan d dx of x plus 1 over x minus 1. Jangan pula pergi cancel kan, tak boleh ni. Okay, yang ni maknanya you boleh terbalikkan. You have x minus 1 over x plus 1. D dx of this, jangan pula pergi. Yang ni boleh cancel dengan yang ni. No. This is, you have to solve this derivative first. Okay, to solve this derivative maknanya your u is equal, kita guna apa ni? Kita guna the quotient rule. U is x plus 1. U prime is equals to 1. V is equals to x minus 1. V prime is equals to 1. So using the formula VU prime, okay, VU prime or V du dx x minus 1 minus with UV prime, so minus with x plus 1, okay, over UV prime, so x minus 1 square. Okay. So, you nampak tak kat sini you boleh cancel. Ni kuasa 1. Yang ni akan dapat berapa yang ni? Negative x, you boleh cancel dengan x. So, you will get here minus. So, you will get here minus 2 kat sini. Okay, so jawapan you dapat kat sini minus 2 over x plus 1 darab dengan x minus 1. Okay, so that is the answer for C. Okay, so that is the answer for C. Alright, and then for D, tak bestnya lah saya buat seorang. Kalau tak dalam kelas ni boleh dah suruh orang buat. Okay, so for D, okay class, for D, y equals to ln cos square x. Cos square x ni maknanya macam mana ni? Cos square x. Dalam dalam chain rule hari tu kita ada discuss kat sini kan. dy over dx. Okay, we copy everything inside ln. So again, we have 1 over cos square x. And do not forget to differentiate cos square x. Cos square x ni sama dengan apa? Sama dengan cos x. Jangan pergi squarekan x. This is power of 2. Semua orang faham tak ni? Cos square x adalah sama dengan cos x everything power of 2. So here we get 1 over cos square x. Differentiate cos x everything square. Come on everyone. What we do first to differentiate this?
Negative 6.
Mula-mula kita buat turun apa?
Power.
Power, yes. Bring down 2. And then whatever cos ni, kita salin je. Cos X, the power tu jadi berapa kat sini?
1.
1. And then we differentiate cos. Differentiate
Negative
cos
sign.
itu apa kelas?
Negative sign.
Negative sin X. Okay, we differentiate cos, we dapat negative sin X. So kat sini, cos X ni boleh cancel dengan yang ni. So we have negative 2 sin X over cos X. Ataupun, apa dia sin over cos? Sin over cos sama dengan apa? Trigonometry.
Tan.
Negative 2 tan X.
Okay, negative 2 tangent X is the final answer. Good. Alright, so we're done with A, B, C, D. And then for E here, okay, for E here, kalau you tengok, okay, for E here class, if you tengok Y equals to ln E the power of X ln X. Okay, kalau you tengok, yang ni, the derivative of, how many function kita ada kat sini sebenarnya? 2 ataupun 3 ataupun 1. Okay, kalau you tengok this function sebenarnya there are only satu function saja because everything here is inside this ln, the outer ln here. Okay, so dia punya dy over dx will equals to 1 over 1 over apa kelas? 1 over e the power of x ln x and multiply with the derivative of e power of x ln x. Okay, derivative of e power of x ln x. Oh, saya tak ajar lagi derivative of e power of x kan? Yang ni tak belajar lagi. It's okay. Okay, yang ni sebenarnya d dx of e the power of x. For your information, derivative of exponential function, you differentiate e power of x, you will get back e power of x. We will discuss this later. Maybe I'll explain this in a synchronous lecture this Sunday. Okay. By the way, maknanya setakat ni you just have to know the derivative of exponential function you get back e power of x, you akan dapat balik e power of x. Sebenarnya the power ni kita differentiate juga. So d dx of x, differentiate x you dapat 1. So tak ada apa-apalah. So here we have 1 over e power of x ln x. This function maknanya kita ada dua. We have u equals to e power of x and we have v equals to ln x. U prime du over dx differentiate e power of x. Tadi baru saya cakap we get back e power of x. V prime differentiate ln x we get 1 over x. So to solve this maknanya kita darab dengan u v prime. So e the power of x over x tambah dengan e the power of x ln x. Okay, so jawapan yang ni adalah first term ni darab masuk, you boleh cancel. So you have 1 over x ln x plus with second term. Boleh cancel semua. So ni jawapan dia. Darabkan yang ni atas dengan bawah ni sama kan? So e power of x ln x over e power of x ln x. So you get this as your answer for E. Okay, and then finally, last example for today. Okay, for today. Semua faham ni? Cakap seorang ni. Okay, for F. Okay, for F here, ni sangat useful tau, logarithmic function. Kalau you tengok function ni, 3x plus 1 power of 5 over 2 minus x power of 10. Kalau tengok function ni, what method you are going to use? Kita akan use quotient rule kan? U sama dengan 3x plus 1 power of 5 and V sama dengan 2 minus x power of 10. Lepas tu you gunalah quotient rule tu. Sebenarnya there is a way that you can solve this easily. Yang mana dia punya ni dengan kita apply ln. Kita bubuh je ln tu on both side. Ln y and ln. Saya nak tengok. Oops, sorry. This one. Okay. Okay, okay, so maknanya kita apply ln on both sides. Tak ada masalah kalau kita apply ln both sides, maknanya kita balance the equation. So we have ln 3x plus 1 power of 5 over 2 minus x power of 10. Okay, kita jangan differentiate lagi. We can simplify this function linearly. Ln y sebab kita tahu kan ln a over b jadi sama dengan apa tadi kelas dalam property. We have ln a over b is equals to ln a minus with ln b. Faham? So here maknanya ln y is equals to ln 3x plus 1 power of 5 minus with ln 2 minus x power of 10. Nampak? Kita jangan differentiate lagi. And then here, ln y juga sama dengan constant ni, power ni, we can bring depan. So, 5 ln 3x plus 1 minus with 10 ln 2 minus x. Then, baru kita differentiate. So, maknanya kita differentiate both sides. This is where we are going to apply implicit differentiation. d dx of ln y equals to d dx of this thing. Okay, saya malas nak tulis, saya letak je macam tu. Okay, so differentiate ln y respect to x, you will get 1 over y dy over dx equals to this one differentiate respect to dx. So here we get 5, whatever inside ln, bawa ke bawah, 3x plus 1. Then multiply dengan derivative yang you bawa kat bawah, differentiate 3x plus 1 respect to x, we get 3. Then minus with 10 over 2 over x. Okay, because now we are differentiating ln 2 minus x. And then multiply with d dx of apa yang you bawa kat bawah ni. 2 minus x differentiate, you dapat apa kelas? With respect to x, you get negative 1. Okay, so dari sini kita akan dapat dy over dx. Y ni you pindahkan to your right hand side. So you akan dapat darab dengan y. Here you have 15 over 3x plus 1 plus with 10 over 2 minus x. Dapatlah jawapan. Ni tak selesai lagi sebenarnya because this y you kena gantikan balik dengan value dia. Ni value asal y tadi kan. Okay. So maknanya this y is 3. Saya tulis guna pen biru sekejap Apa yang susah ni? Malas lah. Tak jadi. Okay. Tukar warna biru sekejap. Okay. So this y is equals to 3x plus 1 power of 5 over 2 minus x power of 10 darab dengan 15 over 3x plus 1 tambah 10 over 2 minus x. So this is the final answer. Faham tak? Okay, this is one of the example. Maknanya, moral of the story, kalau function tu nampak complicated macam ni, you can, there are actually a lot more complicated functions you will find later dalam assignment saya ada bagi. You boleh solve by applying ln. So, nampak tedious sikit kat sini. Tapi when it comes to differentiation, it become very simple. Okay? So, with this, we finish lah for our synchronous lecture today. Ada apa-apa soalan tak? Okay, I want to leave you with one example. Katakanlah kita ada function bagi pop quiz pun boleh juga ni nak faham. Nak tahu you faham ke tak? Kalau saya ada function y equals to ln x. Apa jawapan dia? Find the dy dx of ln x. Anybody can give me answer for this? Saja je ni. dy dx. Kalau you faham the chain rule and faham concept of the differentiation, logarithmic differentiation tadi, I don't think you have problem to understand. Apa jawapan dia kelas? Nampak tak? Yang ni ln x. The derivative is 1 over apa mula-mula?
1 over x.
Louder please. Berapa kali ln nak tulis kat bawah ni?
3.
3 kali lon. Siapa jawab tu? Luqmanul Hakim jawab 3. Betul. Lon X. And then darab dengan D dx of, kat sini 3 lah. Lon X. Lepas tu 1 over lon. Saja je ni saya tulis macam ni nak suruh nampak corner you faham. Okay, then the derivative of this, apa pula? 1 over berapa kali lon?
2.
2, betul. Lon X. And then darab dengan D dx of lon X. So maknanya kita akan dapat lon. Malah dah tulis bracket ni. You all faham dah tu? Lon X. And then yang ni darab dengan apa? 1 over apa yang ni kelas?
1 over ln X.
1 over ln X. And then darab dengan D dx of ln X, you akan dapat apa? 1 over X. Ada lagi tak? Ada lagi nak darab? Tak ada dah lah. Habis dah. D dx of ln X. So this is our final answer. So if you're able to understand this, then I'm sure you able to understand today's lecture lah, which is basically on the logarithmic functions. Alright. So I was expecting we are able to finish chapter 3 part 1 by this week, tapi nampaknya tak habis. Tak apalah. We still have few more slides to discuss, but not much. So I'll cover this. So you nak I habiskan dalam asynchronous lecture class? You nak I bagi recorded lecture ke? For you to view over the mid semester break? Ke sambung je minggu depan?
Boleh juga.
Boleh juga. You nak I habiskan ni? Okay, so okay lah. I'll try to sum up this in asynchronous lecture. I'll put it dekat our Google Classroom maybe by end of this week. Okay, maknanya Sabtu Ahad lah, over the weekend macam tu. And then I upload as well now your assignment 3. Actually, your assignment 3 will consist 2 parts tau. Part 1 and part 2. Okay, because your lecture notes also you have part 1 and part 2. Okay, so for the assignment, for your untuk save data you, saya rasa better if you submit it partly. Maknanya you submit dulu part 1 and then part 2 I give you another deadline. Okay, so I will upload the assignment question tomorrow. Okay, I upload to you assignment question tomorrow and you can start to do lah, except for few question yang logarithmic ni, maybe you have to listen to my asynchronous lecture dulu lah. Alright, yang to complete the remaining part of our chapter 3 part 1. Alright, any other question? Dah 1 minute past 3, you have another class with Dr. Sharifuddin for class programming. Okay, so with that, that's all for today, and do not forget kita punya industry in classroom pukul 2.30 petang hari Ahad ni, and selamat bercuti lah, walaupun you all pun sebenarnya tak ada beza pun saya rasa mid-sem break ke tak kan. Kalau duduk campus boleh ke balik, tak sabar nak balik kampung lah apa semua ni, sama je lah. Alright, cumanya maybe not much classes lah next week. Alright, okay, so that's all everyone. Take care. COVID makin tu ni, hujan pun lebat. Okay, so Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.